me is the lovely Rod Fergusson. It's great to have everybody here. I know some of you have flown quite the distance. We appreciate it. I hope you guys aren't too jet lagged. We just got in from North Carolina today. Shower, grab some food, and we're here. First and foremost, I want to show you that we actually have the Gears of War 3 visual ID. This is the wider version of it. It will be slightly different once it's actually on the box. But hopefully when we get to E3, this will be at the side of the convention center, which is always nice to see. Fingers crossed for that. And we're really proud of how it turned out. We, as the creatives involved in the project, are actively involved in the marketing of this, and we had lots of back and forth with Guy and everybody at Microsoft, and the creatives who are involved in putting it together, who's our art director, to make sure the characters are accurately represented, and that it says so much about what the game's about at a glance. I mean, you can see the emulsion coming out from the bottom, you can see the world being destroyed, you can see the locust gas barges coming in, the choppers, some of the new weapons, Dom, Beard of Distress right there. It's and also, we did the test where we looked at the previous 2 games and saw how it turned out. It really just pops against the other Gears games, so we're pretty excited about that. It looks cool behind us. So.
Yeah, so with this and today we announced the September 20th, 2011, exclusively on Xbox as our release date, so we're primed and ready for it.
We've been, since the game got delayed from April, there had been so many questions about when's it shipping, and there's a lot of like fanboy rage. We're like, you're making me wait till December 24th, and we're back, because we got about that September would probably be a nice time frame to ship it. Seeing as September often is great for big AAA products. And finally decided on the 20th this date, so we're really, really happy to have that out there and happy to make the fanboys thrilled about it.
Well, and it's giving us a chance to do what we're doing now, which is what we're going to talk about. I mean, that extra time allows us to polish. This is going to be the most polished Gears of War game we've ever made, and it's going to be the best Gears of the series. But what's really going to allow us to do that in the multiplayer front is what we're here to talk about today, which is we're going to actually have a beta.
Yep. Once the word came back that we realized April really wasn't going to make a lot of sense and that we're targeting somewhere around September, we're like, wait a minute, so we're not going to be just getting it out there and like bleeding out the eyeballs. We're actually going to be able to step back and go, hey, we can tweak that, or we can maybe add this, or polish the hell out of this. And what we've wound up with is a campaign that is really thick and enjoyable and meaty and fun, and a multiplayer that I think is going to be one of the best we've ever done, if not the get I think you're going to get a really nice taste of that tonight. And we're going to give you some pointers in a PowerPoint about some of the weapons, talk about some of the controller changes, talk about all that.
Right, so the big thing you're seeing, this is a representation. This is not actually the data center we're using right now.
I was telling Guy that you should use like the WikiLeaks bunker. Those will be our dedicated servers right next to all those cables.
So that's one of our big things we announced before. We've got all the news out about our multiplayer, but we are going with dedicated servers. In fact, tonight when you're playing, you'll be playing on dedicated servers. Internet willing. And but basically, it's one of the big things we're bringing to Gears of War 3. We've heard a lot of things about host advantage and all those sorts of things, and dealing with peer-to-peer networking is always a challenge. And so we still have that. You can host migration while you're doing that. But one of our big things is dedicated servers, free of charge to the player, and it's just going to be the best experience possible.
Not a lot of online shooters have this in this day and age, and I've read a lot of the forums of what players want, and the #1 thing that they ask for is dedicated servers, and to really take this leap of faith so that day 1 with the beta, day 1 when the game ships, these servers will be ready and everybody can just flood online and have a good experience. It just means a lot to us in the franchise. Next. Guns.
So with the beta, what things we're doing is players are actually going to get their hands on some of our new weapons. And I was saying earlier, we have a whole gamut of new weapons. When we looked at what we had, we wanted to approach each of the different areas, from starting rifles, which we include the shotguns in, to new heavies, to even new specialty weapons that are sort of crazy, like the boom shot. So one of the first ones is we looked at our online play and realized that Nasher play is crazy. The shotgun is the #1 weapon, it's fan favorite of Gears of War 1 and 2. And what we want to do is find a shotgun that allow the more casual player to have the same effectiveness, that they can really bring that to the game. And so what you have is this double-barreled shotgun that's super, super close range. So when you try it tonight, you basically have to be like this far away to actually kill a person. Or this, so that's later. But basically you have to be that close to jib. And the fact is that when you get that close, you can actually jib up to 3 people at a time with it. That's how effective it is. But it also, the range, if you don't get close enough, it's basically an old 1812 musket battle.
It's like from here, you down them, and then that other distance I'm not going to do again. The reload time is a bitch, keep that in mind. It's like agonizing, like tantrum reload, but it's worth it because if you get it up again, you can totally smear a few people. We've had times where I see a guy going to revive another guy, when there's a guy next to him, and when you pull off a multiple guy jib, it's so satisfying and amazing.
So,
yeah, this is the one shot. like to refer to this as our elephant gun, essentially. Imagine if you were to combine like a giant shell with a sniper rifle. This is perched at the top of one of my favorite maps that we have, where it's kind of set in the Locust Deadlands. And it's hip slung, so it's a heavy weapon. And what happens is when you target with it, you get this laser that goes out that kind of scans the battlefield. It takes a beat or two to actually hone in on somebody. And once you can get it on somebody, you pink mist them. They don't even jib, they just turn into pink mist. And it's so gratifying to finally get somebody with this, because when you're scanning the map with that, they know to take cover, otherwise they're just going to explode. And it's really powerful, and it's really useful, and it's the one shot.
So as I talked about, we went back and looked at not only sort of the crazy weapons like the one-shot, but also just going back to starting rifles. And this one is what we call the retro lancer. And basically what we wanted to look at was going back and looking when the war that has been fought in Sarah for eons has been basically, we wanted to see the human versus human fighting. And so when they were doing that, they had a knife bayonet. And it was only when the Locust emerged that they actually switched to the chainsaw, because the knife wasn't very effective. And so what this allows us to do is it's really cool bayonet charge attack. So one of the things you'll do is when you hold down B like you would with a chainsaw and regular lancer, you'll actually go into this roadie run type of charge, lower your shoulder, and if you get enough momentum, you'll actually stab and lift them up and throw them aside. And it's really rapid.
And keep in mind, this is a weapon that has a hell of a kick. It kicks like a mule. It's also a medium to close range rifle. You're going to want to kind of be this distance, but if you get that close and manage to kick, you can drop people like nobody's business. Make sure, remember, to be for the charge and manage the kick. You'll have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah, we like to call this the assault rifle version of a shotgun. Basically, when somebody's coming at you, you can just tear them apart within range, but it's kind of hard at long range.